When I was in fourth grade, one blackmailed my best friend. When I was in fourth grade, I only had a small handful of friends. I was a really weird kid, from a poor family. I never realized what I was doing was wrong, until I got caught. My best friend had told me that there was a boy she had a big crush on, and I didn't know this was wrong until later, but I used that information to blackmail her. How old is the average child attending fourth grade, anyway? 8 to 9. I think I was 8. Anyway, my best friend brought money to school, for lunch, and one day I was really hungry. I blackmailed her and told her if she didn't get me something to eat, that I would tell the boy she liked that she has a crush on him. This is silly, but even though I'm 20 years old now, I feel so bad, sad face. As I mentioned before, I came from a poor family, and I really wanted something to eat. The poor girl gave me her money. Later on, my mom found out. I'm glad she did though. She grounded me, and made me do odd jobs for people, until I could give her the money back. I also wrote her an apology letter. To this day, she is still in my life. Although we aren't close, I'm happy that she forgave me. I stole over $1,000 from a grocery store, only paid back $100. I used to work for a grocery store chain when I was a teenager, about 7 years ago now. Over the course of about 6 months I stole approximately $1,000 while tending the register. I don't remember how it started or why I ever thought I'd get away with it, or if I really even thought about what I was doing at all. I was a very impulsive person. So, I got caught, obviously, and they're like, so we know you took money, we don't know how much, we want the money back, and if you give it to us we won't involve the cops, paraphrasing. I said I took like $400, which is what I agreed to pay back. Being the dumb teen I was, I didn't tell my parents. I said I'd quit due to some BS. So I started paying the money back, ended up not paying the full thing, and they never noticed and didn't give a fuck. I owed maybe $50 minus $75 at that point. I completely forgot about it, and then about 3 years after all this is said and done I get a check in the mail from the grocery store for $190, didn't know what the fuck it was for, so I sat on it for a couple of weeks and then just decided to try and cash it, could have been back pay they owed me or some shit which would not surprise me. I felt like shit about it for a long time. Never told anyone, not even that I wouldn't, just doesn't come up and I've learned to live with it, promised myself I wouldn't do it again as I snapped out of my idiotic teenager apathy and woke up a little. Anyway, I robbed a store while working there and they paid me for the trouble 3 years after the fact. I stabbed someone and never been caught. When I was 16 I always eshed and kicked back with my homie, nicknamed Lado. Me and him were so close like brothers and helped me a lot when I was homeless. One night we decided to set a guy, nicknamed Rico, up, as he got into the car. I was in the back and my friend was in the driver's seat. Lado decided to drive as we are deciding on how much to pick up. As he took the money out I pull out a switchblade on him and get him to give me his money and phone. As he was gonna give me his phone I tried to get him to reset the phone but he kept hesitating and begging to keep it. I got frustrated and stabbed him couple times in the stomach, took his phone and pushed him out the car door onto the road and drove off. I don't know what happened to him and I've been thinking about it lately. I made my best friend fail the most important exam of her life. Where I am from, and here we have one exam we work for our entire school years, basically our entire lives. It takes place in one day, all subjects, in school. Our school is a pretty good school, which means the top score student will get a scholarship to their university. Me and my best friend are similar in scores, but I felt like she would do so much better. My mom kept comparing me to her, and to be honest I just despised her from some point on from last year. I got us some bubble tea for energy before the exams this June, and then put a lot of laxatives in her tea. Bubble tea it's super strong and sweet, so she didn't know. During the exam she had to leave multiple times to use the bathroom, each lasting 7 to 10 minutes. I still felt insecure, so I put some laxatives in her mid-exam lunch, and she had to leave a lot again. I could visibly see her sweat and feel sick. We got our scores back and she got a 146 300ths while I got a 294 300ths. I got the best score and now I have a scholarship to her favorite college. I comforted her while she cried, and told her it wasn't her fault. She's going to a super small college, which I don't think will help her future. My mom was overjoyed and threw a party, where she was invited. I could see how sad she was, and I know what I did was horrible. I will never tell anyone, but I did want to tell someone, so here I am. I am aware I am a horrible person, and I know she didn't deserve it. I hope she never meets someone like me again. I've been stockpiling the personal information of complete strangers. I work in a waste transfer station and people constantly ignore the signs and throw their garbage in our recycle bin. Every time they do, I have to manually pull it from the bin and bring it to the garbage compactor. I always rip open the bags and look for identifying info. I have dozens of names, addresses, phone numbers and several social security numbers of these offenders. I haven't done anything with this information and not sure why I'm still doing it. I'm pretty sure it involves this fantasy in my mind where I let loose all this information for the internet to dox at their leisure. The smug satisfaction of knowing I could fuck with these offenders is one of the few things that make this job more tolerable. I switched around all the birthday invitations at my sister's preschool. When I was 7, I found myself alone in the preschool cubby room at my sister's school. I noticed birthday invitations in the cubbies and I came up with the diabolical idea of taking some of the invitations and putting them in other people's cubbies. I did this for like 10 plus different invitations. As far as I know, everyone might have been invited anyways, but this was 20 years ago and my memory is foggy and the preschool was separated into age groups, so I doubt everyone would have been invited. There's a good chance I fucked this kid's birthday up, but I like to think it was just a mild inconvenience in the end and everything worked out.
I stole from my teacher when I was allowed to be in the school late for Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scout for a few years, mostly because my mom and my best friend's mom ran our troop, so we got to spend a lot of time together. Our moms were active with our school and were given permission to use the school's gym for our meetings after school for a time when we were in 3rd grade. After school on days we had Girl Scout meetings there, I left my things in my classroom during the meeting and went to get it before we went home. Since the teacher would usually be gone by the time I went back for my stuff, this gave me the opportunity to steal the classroom currency my teacher made, bare bucks, that we were able to earn in exchange for prizes. I swiped quite a lot and after a while started to give away some of this cash like a big shot. I remember specifically one instance of giving the biggest bill to someone and saying, "Share it with your friends." Not too long after that incident though, my teacher asked the class to turn in anything we didn't earn because she noticed some missing. As an adult, I have considered that there's a good chance she knew it was me but didn't want to confront me other than this blatant thievery. I was a really good and smart kid. I gave her some if what I'd taken to make it look like I'd just been given some too. I think I just threw away the rest. I never actually spent any of these for fear she'd find me out.